Hello. Welcome back to my channel. You are tuned in to Consciously Spiritual. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I am Tara Tales. I am the shadow work specialist. On this channel, we deal with uncovering the hidden treasures of our subconscious mind. If you have just tuned in to my channel, I do suggest you go back and watch the video about why is spirituality important and who is Tara Tales, how I came about getting that name, as well as what I have learned thus far on my spiritual journey. Now, before we move any further, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any of my video uploads. Please share with your friends and family who you think can benefit from the information that you receive from me. And if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to send me an email. The link will be below the description of this video. And without further ado, today we are talking about the 7 universal laws. Now, I chose to do this video because if you are new to spirituality, if you feel that religion just doesn't answer some of the questions you may have about life, about yourself, and if you are new on your spiritual journey, you're probably asking questions like, why does these things happen to me? Why am I being tested? I'm a good person. I'm good-hearted. I do things for the right reasons. Why? Right? You might have a lot of whys. And if you know what the universal laws are, also known as the laws of Tahuti, the Hermetic principles, they're all the same. Different names, same laws. And these laws apply to everything in creation. Everything from a blade of grass to the air we breathe to what geographical location you were born in to your name, who your parents are. These things apply to everything. It's the universal laws. So when you think of the universe, we are part of the universe. We are a microcosm of the macrocosm. We are a small part of the bigger picture, right? So we need to be able to not only regurgitate these laws. What I've noticed along my spiritual journey is most people tell you what the spiritual laws are, or the universal laws of Tahuti. Who's Tahuti? We'll get into that at another time. However, what I've noticed is they don't really teach you how to apply these universal principles to your everyday life so that you can begin to decode your life, figure out what changes you need to make to bring about the desired results in your life. So that is what I'm here to do. Okay, now we are going to unlock some ancient knowledge, learn how to apply that to our current everyday lives. And the more you start to understand how these things apply to everything, the easier you'll be able to get over things that don't go right in your life. Because regardless of if it went the way that you wanted to go, everything is working out for your highest good. It's working out to teach you something so that you can learn a lesson, so that you can have more knowledge, more wisdom to make better choices, and further propel you towards your desired goal, what you came here to do in this lifetime. All right? Now, the first law. The first universal law is the law of mentalism. And I absolutely love this law. Why do I love this law so much? It is the first law, which means to me, not that any of the other laws are not important, but this is the most important law to me because it is the law of mentalism. It states that the all is mine. Now, some people equate the all, to the universe, to God, however you want to describe the higher power or force that controls everything, insert that word there. The all is mine, the universe is mental, right? So what does that mean? Now, we know and we have heard the cliches, the proverbs, the parables, whatever you want to call them, that the mind is a terrible thing to waste. And that's absolutely true. Your mind is your consciousness. It's your ability to think, the level at which you think. And what this law is telling you, that God is mind. The universe is mind. And the universe is mental. So how do you equate that to your everyday life? Because remember, we're taking the larger concept of these laws and we're applying it to ourselves. Okay, so if the all is mind and the universe is mental, that means that what you think is what manifests in your life. How you feel internally, subconsciously, is what you create in your reality. Okay, the mind is all and the universe is mental. So when you change your mind, when you change your mindset, you change your reality. And we know this to be true. Let's break it down to something simple. When we decide, just for instance, when we as women or men decide that we want to either gain weight or lose weight, when we make the change in our mind, in our consciousness, we then produce the results. How does that happen? With work, with effort, with consistency, with discipline, with training. But it first started as a thought. It first started in our mind. And because it was in our mind and it was resided in our hearts, we had a passion for it. Okay, it then manifested into reality as being the desired weight goal, achieving our desired outcome, right? So, understanding that the first universal principle is the mind is all and the universal and the universe is mental, lets you know that everything in your reality, whether it's a raggedy car or a BMW, whether you live in a 1-bedroom apartment that you share with 3 other people, or you live in a multi-million-dollar mansion, it first started out as a thought that you then manifested into reality. And the more you think about something, the more energy you give it to manifest. Okay? So understand that the mind is all and the universe is mental. What you think is what you create. All right? Now, I made a couple little notes so I can stay on topic. The second universal law is the principle of correspondence. Now, if you've been in the spiritual community for a while now, or even if you're a beginner, you have heard as above, so below. Now, we're always talking about as above, so below. However, what does that really mean? Okay, we've heard of terms like our higher selves and our spiritual selves and things of that nature. So how I like to look at this law in order to apply it to my everyday life is as above, so below. What I think about from the first universal law, what resides in my higher consciousness is what I will also see being reflected here below on earth, on the physical realm. So what is in my subconscious mind, the things that reside in my higher consciousness will also be reflected down here in my physical life, my physical reality. Okay, so perfect example. Say life is not going good. Now, I know you think to yourself, why she keep talking about the bad stuff? Because nobody seeks out answers for when life is going right. We just enjoy the moment, we enjoy the journey, and hope that it stays that way. But because life does not always stay at a high peak, and that's also a universal principle we'll get to in a second. Because life is not always at a high peak and high vibes and good vibes, how everybody is always portraying on social media, it is necessary to understand that when life is going not so great, it's a reflection of things being set up for you, aligned for you, in order to get you to make a choice that would turn things around. Okay, your higher self, your higher consciousness, the spiritual aspect of you that is giving you guidance, your intuition, that is giving you guidance, is always setting things in your path so that you can make the best decisions, the best choices in order to move you further along in your journey. When you don't make the best decisions and you don't choose the path that will get you closer to your goal, things happen in your life that don't go right, okay? Or don't go as you would have hoped. Therefore, that means that your higher self is giving you a little pat on the butt and saying, hey, straighten up, okay? As above, so below. So when you're going right, when you're following your path, when you're following your intuition, your gut feeling, when you're doing the things necessary to get you to that next level, and life is just flowing and things are going smoothly, your higher self is like, yeah, keep going, keep doing this, stay on this track. I'm going to open up all of the doors for you because you're on the right path, right? You're on the right path. And when things are not going as great, your higher self is like, you want to black out this time? Do I need to knock out a tooth for you to know that you should be making a U-turn and going the opposite direction? Okay, so your higher self, your higher guidance is always going to give you clues. Let's say you had a car accident and you like, what in the world? I just got this car. What was in your thoughts at the time in which you got into that car accident? What have you been doing in your personal life that isn't quite beneficial to your growth? Who is in your life that is not beneficial to your growth? Who was in the car with you at the time? Maybe you were on the phone. Maybe you were texting somebody. You have to start to analyze everything within your control so that you can start to decode whether or not you're making the right decisions. Okay? So as above, so below. When things are going right, when you are following your higher guidance, your intuition, it will be reflected in the way that your life is going here in the physical realm. When you're not, when you're off path, when you're off track, it is also going to be reflected into your current situation. Because whatever is in your mind, it creates your reality, right? We just learned that from the first universal law. Okay. Now, another law that, they all go hand in hand, and I won't say that any one of them is any more important than the others, but it's like a cascade of importance. From the first, it trickles on down. You can't have one without the other, So, the third universal law is the principle of vibration. Nothing is at rest. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. Okay? Which is why you hear people starting to understand that changing the things that we say. Why do you think affirmations are so important? The words that you speak have a vibration. Your body, your spiritual body hears the vibration. So about 1.5 years ago, I stopped saying good morning. And I'm going to put the text up that I sent to my broco, my brother cuz. And I told him, I said, I'm no longer saying good morning because I'm not mourning the day. Now, a lot of people have made the decision to stop saying good morning. They say great rising or grand rising or something along that nature. And he laughed. He said, well, morning isn't spelled the same as mourning, like death. And what I tried to explain to him was that, oh yeah, you're right, that they are not spelled the same, but they sound exactly the same. So the vibration of the word, when you speak it, your spiritual body doesn't know the difference. Your brain doesn't know the difference. Your brain is inside your skull. It can't see the words. Your eyes can see the words, but you can say good morning with your eyes closed. And the vibration, the sound that those letters make, the vibration that those words make, whether one has a U and one doesn't, makes no difference to your spiritual, energetic body. The vibration of the word sounds the same to your body. Therefore, understanding just by something as simple as not saying good morning because you don't want your spiritual body, let's just call it your spiritual body, your energetic body, to think that the day is filled with sadness. We want to give the vibration of greatness every day, starting out with the things that we say. Affirmations, speaking it every day. Your body is made up over 70% water. Okay, every cell in your body has water. Every cell in your body vibrates from the words that you speak. That's why speaking affirmations are so important. The cells in your body feel the vibration of those words when you say them. And the more passion you have behind it, the more conviction you have, the stronger the vibration. So please remember, the third universal law is that everything is in motion. Everything has a vibration. The principle of vibration clearly states that everything moves and everything has a vibration. So cast out into the universe the vibrations that you want to attract the things that you need in your life. You don't want to constantly say how there are no good women, there are no good men, these jobs don't pay anything. Because guess what? Your body doesn't know the difference. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between reality. Sorry about that. Your body doesn't know the difference between reality and fiction. So what it hears, what you believe, what you feel, when you speak these words, it will give you more of it. Okay? The fourth universal law is the principle of polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. So what does that mean? We're here on earth in the times, even if you call it the Aquarian age, whatever age, the ice age, it doesn't matter. We're here on earth. We exist in polarities. We know the North Pole, the South Pole, hot, cold, okay, left, right. They're all directions or temperatures. Hate, love, it's a feeling, it's an emotion. One is just at an opposite end, extreme like or extreme dislike, but it's still an emotion. It still means that you are being pulled in one direction or the other in your consciousness, in your mind. Okay? So, what does that mean? My journey, and I believe the journey of many people who seek to evolve mentally, spiritually, must understand emotional intelligence. When you understand emotional intelligence, you finally get the idea to say, you know what? I'm not going to allow things to pull me in a direction that takes me off of my center, my center of peace, my center of focus, being in the middle, not caring either way, whether it goes, like I said, whether things go great for me today or whether things go horribly wrong for me today. Understanding that, guess what? Even if it went horribly wrong, it went horribly wrong to protect me, to keep me safe, to keep me from making a decision that would have probably been even more drastically horrible for me later on down the line. Okay? And if things went awesomely great, it was because it's preparing me for something that's even more great. Being able to look at life from the perspective of knowing that everything in this universe has a opposite. Okay? And what somebody may view as being important may not be as important to me. And that's okay. I don't need to fight them or argue with them about it. That's their perspective. That's their reality. Okay? My reality is what I choose for it to be by being in control of my emotions. And it is hard to do, especially when love is involved, especially when your heart, because that's what love is, things that affect your heart. When those things come into play, that's when the challenges come. But guess what? As you grow and evolve spiritually, you're going to be challenged. And we're going to talk about some of the challenges that I've experienced just in these last 4 months that has truly challenged my spiritual growth to see how much have I truly learned on my walk. How much faith do I have in the divine order of my life? I've always been one to want to control every aspect of my life, and I've done a lot of good for myself by being in control. But as I grow and elevate spiritually, I know that I have to walk by faith and not by sight. To understand that even when things seem to be going horribly wrong for me, it's because it's preparing me for something even better. The more I try to force and control things to go the way that I want them to go, the more my higher self spank me on the butt like, you ain't got enough yet. You ain't seeing that I'm trying to let you know that this is not for you. Let go and let God. Let your spirit guide you. So you know what, you guys? I have been surrendering to the unknown. And it's one of the hardest things to do, to give up that control and to say, I am ready to be led by my higher self. And so far, it is going well. Is every day a good day? Absolutely not. But I have such inner peace in knowing that what I'm doing, even with coming on here talking to you guys tonight, what I'm doing is for the betterment of myself and all of those who hear this message. So understand, everything has poles. Everything has an opposite. And start to look at it from, what are you being protected from instead of what is being kept from you? Okay? Let's move on. We only got a couple more, y'all, so hang tight. Thanks for tuning in with your girl. If you haven't yet clicked the bell on to get notifications when I post videos, go ahead and do that. Share this video with your family and friends, because I know somebody is going through something that needs some upliftment internally to know that everything is going to be all right. Even when you don't know how it's going to be all right, the process, trusting the process, trusting that God, your higher self, your spirit is leading you in the right direction. So go ahead and share this video with somebody you love. And understand that the fifth law is the principle of rhythm. Everything has tides. Everything has a rise and a fall. The pendulum swing manifests equally to the right and left in everything. Now, we already know that everything has a vibration. We already just talked about everything has opposites, a pair of opposites. And understand that everything has a rhythm. So when it says everything has a rise and a fall, understand that when you down, okay, know that the creator, God, the all, whatever, the universe is setting you up. It's putting you at your lowest point so that you can rise again. Okay? I have been going through some of the worst things in the past 4 months since Thanksgiving of 2022 that I would have never imagined would turn out like this for me. But it has given me the courage to come out on here and speak to you guys, to give my testimony, to be able to let you know not only the things that I have learned. I have worked 6 days this year, you guys. It is now February 12th, 2023. And thus far, your girl has worked 6 days this entire year. But it's given me time to get my book together that I will be releasing very soon, which is a collection of experiences that my shadow self needed to be acknowledged and released so that I can continue to ascend and elevate mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. I've been holding on to so much knowledge that I've been gaining that I've only been sharing with my family and friends who may not be ready to hear the things that I have to say. But having the time, having the courage, and having the experiences to come on here and share with you all is that beginning climb back to my rise. Okay, because now it's time for me to rise to an elevated point that I have not yet reached. I've hit a low that I have never hit before. So it makes sense for me to use that pain, for me to use that energy and transmute it like the alchemist that I am in order to rise, to reach a point in my life that I have not yet reached, that my spirit is setting me up to understand why they took me through these things, why I have the courage to speak as passionately and as heartfelt, it's from my heart, about the things that I'm going to tell you guys about, because I know y'all going through it. I'm not the first and I damn sure ain't going to be the last. So understand that the principle of rhythm says that everything has its tides. Everything rises and falls just like the sun does every single day. But you don't see the moon getting jealous when the sun is shining, or being mad that it's daytime and not nighttime, because the moon's time will come. It will rise again just as the sun sets. Okay? So let that be of some consolation to you, to let you know that you will rise again. Okay? Things may be low, but remember, faith is in the things unseen. And we're not just talking about that in a religious sense. We're talking about that in an everyday, physical, literal sense. Faith is the belief in things unseen. And now you have belief. And I don't even like to use belief. You have the knowledge to know, based off of these universal laws, that it will rise again. You don't have to believe. You don't have to depend on a blind belief in something that you don't know to be factual. These are facts. NASA and whatever scientists that said energy is never lost, it's only transferred. It's a universal law. Energy doesn't go anywhere. Okay? So when it's at its low, when your energy is at its lowest, it ain't went nowhere. It just went to another place waiting on you to rise again, to get more energy to do whatever it is that you need to do. Okay? Now, one of my favorites, the sixth law, the law of cause and effect. Everything has its cause, and every cause has an effect. So let's just recap real quick about, let's just go back to the law of vibration. Okay? Everything has a cause, and every cause has an effect. So every time you speak those words of affirmation, you're sending that energy, because it's never lost or destroyed. It's only transferred. And the more you feel the words that you speak, the deeper you feel the words that you speak, the more energy you give to the words that you speak. And the words that you speak must have an effect, because the universal law states that every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. So the more energy you put into the cause that you want to manifest, it must happen. It must happen, because the universal law states that everything has a cause and an effect. So if you're looking to manifest, if you are trying to convince yourself that this is real, give yourself a test. Give yourself start off with 7 days. 7 days, speak something specific. I found $10. I found $10 over and over again. And I guarantee you, before that 7 days is up, you will find $10 somewhere. And it will come, when it's spiritual, it will come in a way that you could have never predicted. Never predicted, okay? You might be on your way to your friend's house and you pick up a pizza at the grocery store, and one of the bags that you stuck your food in had $10 in it. And you didn't even notice it had $10 in it. But when you got to her house, you took the pizza out and $10 fell out the bag. And you like, what the hell? But you remember that you've been putting that energy out verbally into the universe every day for 7 days, commanding and telling the universe that you found $10. Do yourself a try. Give yourself a goal. One goal. Make it something simple and realistic that you truly believe you can accomplish. Okay? Say it for 7 days. And tell me whether or not if it turned out. If it actually happened. Okay? Finally, the seventh principle. The principle of gender. Now, everything has gender. Everything has a feminine principle and a masculine principle. And if you aren't yet already following me on Instagram, your girl can be found on IG at I am consciously spiritual. As you know, I am Tara Tales, the shadow work specialist, and I specialize in childhood trauma in order to heal and elevate the divine feminine within you. Now, why did I bring that up right now? This world is built on masculinity. Men have ruled this world. And I say the world very loosely, even though the United States and many other countries are dominated by a male's presence. In religion, they even try to say that I don't even think they have what a female is being God. God is a man. But we all know that here in reality, women give birth. We create. Okay? So the feminine principle has been left out of religion. The feminine principle has been suppressed in this country specifically for ages and ages. And in the age of Aquarius, now the rise of the divine feminine, meaning the creative, intuitive aspect of us all. Okay? Intuitive meaning the part that is connected to the universe. Okay? It's on the rise. We are now becoming more spiritual. We are tapping into our ancient information as a people. We are becoming more creative in our everyday lives. We are stepping away from the constructs of American society, stepping into our own jobs, creating our own jobs, starting our own businesses, being content creators, fashion designers, crocheters, all sort of things, because the divine feminine is waking up on the planet. And I am so proud to be here in this time. Now, even if you were raised in a single parent household with your mother, excuse me, that mother had to take on the role of a man. She had to be strong. She had to exist in her masculinity. She couldn't just be nurturing, caring, kiss your boo-boos, fix your meals, give you guidance, give you structure, and have the father enforce the structure. She had to be both, which means she became hardened in some aspects. So by nature, the things that she exhibited as being a woman has transferred into her children. Women don't know how to depend on a man for financial security, for protection. We have had to learn to be our own protectors. Okay? And now we are starting to wake up to realize that we are supposed to have each other's back. Understanding that the feminine principle exists in all of us. Tapping into our emotions, especially men, being able to say how they feel and not just what they think. That's a feminine aspect. Being in touch with our intuition, our gut feeling. That's a feminine aspect. Being logical and strong and things of that nature, we know how to be masculine. We've been doing that for ages. But the feminine principle is returning. And I am so excited to be a part of it, to see how the world will change once the divine feminine aspect of nature has been restored. Women understanding their worth doesn't equate to how they look physically. More so what's in their mind, what's in their hearts, their ability to nurture and raise children as well as a community. So if you are having issues with childhood trauma, if you are having problems with relationships, whether it's with your family, whether it's with the opposite sex, if you are unfulfilled at work, if you are not able to find the strength to lose weight, to gain weight, you need to contact your shadow work specialist. You can send me a message directly at consulttara@gmail.com. You can also visit me at www.cnselevation.com and schedule an appointment to understand more about how your shadow self is preventing you from living the life that you truly desire. I thank you guys for taking the time to listen to my explanation about these 7 Hermetic principles and how you should begin to apply them to your everyday life for your overall growth and spiritual elevation. Until next time, endless love, y'all. Peace.